so much of data that is being generated from our actions every day that it is humongous. So you might also heard this 3 V's of big data, which is a very popular term: velocity, volume, and variety. So think about big data in these 3 dimensions. I borrowed this picture from a website. As you see, data volume has been traditionally increasing from megabytes to petabytes to exabytes. And on a variety, now we get different kinds of data. It's no longer structured data. It is like audio, video, pictures, social media, tweets, name it, it's out there. And different kinds of data. And velocity is like the speed at which this data is growing, right? From traditionally we had like batch processing. Now we are doing real-time processing of tweets through sentiment analysis and things like that, where some tweet happens and immediately it shows up on a graph whether that tweet was positive or negative. That is like requires a lot of significant computing power. But because this computing power has become cheap, a lot of small businesses now have access to these kind of tools which they never had before. That's big data on the 3 different axes. Just let's talk about the volume for a minute, because that's very interesting. So there is a research that says there is 2.5 exabytes of data that is growing per day. In another estimate which says in 2013, 1200 exabytes of data, total data, out of which only 2% will be non-digital data. That's the estimate. So the question for you is, there's a question also. Do you guys know what an exabyte is? And how many gigabytes that means? Like, you can write it down if you know it. You can. Okay. That's 1 exabyte is 1 billion gigabytes. Just so let's put it in a perspective. What's 1 billion gigabytes? If you stack CD-ROMs from Earth to Moon, we are talking about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 stacks of CD-ROMs. Just imagine that much data in 1 year.
It's because we never throw anything away.
So that gives you a perspective. And another actually equivalent analogy for the same number is if you actually layered the whole United States with books, we are talking about 52 stacks of books. Like the whole United States. So how can we use big data? Big data helps us actually find who our customer is. What does he do? What does he like? When does he buy? These sorts of questions can now be answered using the data that we have and applying techniques like mentioned, like cluster analysis, A/B testing, sentiment analysis, cohort analysis. So I'll just quickly go over this. Cluster analysis, as most of you probably know, is like mapping your customer on a graph on different axes which measures different variables, and then putting the customers who are close to each other as one group, and marketing uses that for targeted marketing. Right? This has been there for ages. But what big data now helps us is these clusters can be micro clusters. Now we can actually go down to a very, very detailed level of efficiency and in predicting what a customer wants. I'll talk about micro-segmentation. Sentiment analysis, again, as I mentioned, what's the customer sentiment about an article, a tweet or something, whether it's good or bad. Then marketers use this data to group people with good sentiments and bad sentiments and target them differently. A/B testing is a different way of testing the same thing. So for instance, if you want to send out a marketing campaign with a subject line A, you don't know if that will be successful. Somebody comes and says plan B, subject line B is what I want. Then you can actually run an A/B test. A/B test is you send that subject A to a group and then subject B, and then find out who gets the most sign-ups. And with big data, you can do a lot of this great stuff. Now, other thing is cohort analysis, which is a very powerful tool. This is like, I'll spend a minute on this. Cohort analysis tells you what a group of people who have similar features are doing over a period of time with respect to the feature that you want to test. For example, let me explain. So as this graph says, I am tracking how
people who signed up on my website in January fared in the next 11 months. So if you see the pop-up there, I don't know if it's visible, what it is telling me is that column 1, it says 100% in January. So out of all the people who signed up in January,
only 18% of them are still active in the month of July. So in that way I can do a detailed analysis on a group of people. And another way to think about is create a cohort for people who are coming from Google. If there is a Google ads and then people are coming to your website from that, that's one cohort. And if somebody is coming from Twitter, that is another cohort. And somebody else from somewhere else, that's another cohort. And see how they are doing over a period of time. And then you'll figure out which channel is best spending the money on for your product. So as I mentioned, big data now helps us do a lot of this good stuff. Micro-segmentation, as I mentioned, we can go to the minute detail. Amazon is a great example. Every one of us has a different Amazon site, right? So I don't get to see the same site that you see. So because they know exactly what I tend to watch and they have all this data processing power. So that's micro-segmentation. Real-time price optimization is like the ability to change the prices based on demand in real time. That is a powerful tool to have. There are a lot of companies which are trying to offer services in big data. That's the landscape. There is Hadoop. These are the core technologies, and then we have this Cloudera, Hortonworks, which package Hadoop into a solution and offer it, and Cloudera, which provides Tableau, which provides the visualization for big data. So I won't go into details of this slide, but that's big data. So if you are here, you have earned the detonator badge. So put a star 200 detonator.